the goalkeeper basic techniques. Now we go into the technical stuff. And let's see what we have in front of us here. First up is the set position. The elements of a proper goalkeeper set position and the importance of body positioning and balance. How and where you position your arms. So I think this is highly individual in my opinion. I think there will be some coaches that tell you that this is how it is and this is how you should do the set position. And the set position is how we place our body, hands, feet, everything in the moment before there's a shot or a cross that comes in. Many of goalkeeper coaches will tell you how to position your arms, how you should be in terms of height, if you should be low or high or whatever. But in my opinion, this is highly individual. I think you have to find, like, there are some guidance that I will show you in the next slide, but I think you also need to be mindful and think what works for you. How is your body structured? Like, how are you from birth? How is your hips? How is your hands? Knees, ankles, this is highly individual. So saying that you have to have only one set position and then you say, yeah, but it really doesn't work. I don't save enough balls with it. Like, I don't dive that far. I don't jump that high. Like, that's something that's not working. No, but then try and see if there's other techniques that works for you. I think that's really important. I was lucky when I was younger that I had a coach that he wasn't really like, this you do, this is what you do, and that's the end and be all. I think you need to play around with it, listen to advice, and also make up your own mind how you feel it works, if you have this position and that position, and yeah. But I do have a few pointers that you can think about. You can try them. This is how I do my set position. And if you like it, you can try it. And if there's parts of it that you like, you take that. If there's parts you dislike, you don't use it. But I think there's a couple of good pointers in the next slide that you can learn something from. So let's just go to the next slide. It's a video. And this is me and my son Luca, who is also a goalkeeper. He's goalkeeper in both football and ice hockey, actually. So, the goalkeeper gene and the goalkeeper DNA gets passed through generations. My dad was a goalkeeper as well for Øyane. And now my son is as well. So that's really, really nice. Wait, back. And let's see what we do here. So here you see I have my hands in front, bent elbows, hands forward. I have slightly bent knees for some, what do you call it in English? Suspension. And, I'm up on my toes. If you can see it behind the text here. And then we are really ready. We are ready to fire all muscle groups. And it's easy to move as well. And this is also a drill I like to do with Luca. I want him to move how he feels best. And I also want him to move a little bit like that without the ball, just to feel his positioning, to feel the goal behind him, feel the posts. And yeah, just really do the basics right, get that right, and practice it. You see here, I'm showing my hands are free, and it's easy for me to move and easy for me to to save a shot. So up on your toes, slight bent knees, and also have your hands free. I think it's beneficial to have them in front of you. I think it's also good to not bring them too much behind. Yes, I know Neuer, I know Kepa, and I know there's many goalkeepers that enjoys doing that to create momentum into that dive. But for me, especially when you learn the basics, I think it's a good thing to have them in front of you. You see them, it's close to the ball, a close way to the ball. And it's also then easier to have your weight forward, which is really, really important. We don't want to have too much weight on our heels or backwards, because then we lose time and we lose also momentum. So as you see again, I guess the image speaks louder than words actually. Yep. So just moving around in the goal, hands are free to make a save. And now my son tries as well. So I've coached him a little bit, but I just want him to move freely, use his body and just explore how it is to be a goalkeeper and what's working for him. You have to start and make up your own mind, even at a young age. You have to be mindful, what works for me, what kind of knowledge can I take in, what kind of knowledge can I leave out. And I think already from a young age, learn that. I think it can really, really help your goalkeeping. So here you see his hands are in front, slightly bent knees. Maybe he should be a little bit more on his toes, but it's okay. And yeah, this is a good set position, which I like. And you saw how I did it. You saw how I teach my kid and teach Luca. So you can use this as a reference to how the set position can look. And I think that's all about the set position. So let's go on to the next slide. And this is just something you can do after or before a training session to learn your goalkeeper to get a feel for the ball and warm up. I just added this here. It's good flexibility. They learn to be a friend with the ball, befriend their body. I think almost Luca is stiffer than his dad. So also, kids nowadays, Luca is probably not sitting a lot, but kids nowadays, they sit a lot and they get stiff. So goalkeepers, they need to be friends with their body. They need to be able to move around and use it. So I just added this in for you to use so that your goalkeeper can learn how to handle the ball, use their hands, and also, cooperate with their body and get to know their body, which is really, really important. And yeah, I'm really proud, that Luca, my son, is a goalkeeper. And this is also to get a feel for the ball, know where your body is, how your body moves, how your hands moves. You can also do this drill. You see, I'm bending a little bit my back so I'm not stiff. It's a flow thing. So I just added that in for you to see, just some extra content for you to use. And this, of course, can be used in different ways. And as they get better with the ball, better with their body, and take steps as goalkeepers, you can also increase speed and everything. We are back with the next slide, and we are still at the goalkeeper basic techniques. And we are now into the basics of handling. How you should use your hands, fingers, wrists, elbows and your body to perform a catch. And of course, there's many different techniques for different shots. You have the diamond catch, the diamond catch like this, which I use. You have the basket. You have the scoop, which is along the ground. You have the Danish catch, where the ball comes into your chest and you close your elbows like this, which Kasper Schmeichel is doing. And that's just to mention a few of the techniques. And let's see here on the next slide, I'm teaching Luca how he should handle the ball and the basics. You can just roll the video here. So here you see, oops, one back. There we are. So here you see, we don't want the elbows to be too much like this, but we want to handle the ball like this, going forward, not too much this, but forward. You can see me showing, not too much wide, but like that. Yeah, because then it's also easier to get your hands behind the ball. If you see we do like this, it gets a bit tougher. But here, we are in a good place. We can move and we can use, our elbows and wrists to cushion the ball when we catch it. And I'm showing that here on the slide as well to Luca, that we can use our wrists, he does it as well. And then we can use our elbows to cushion the impact of the ball, because, if we just stop it with straight arms, it can be really hard to stop a hard shot. So we need to implement skills and skills to handle really hard shots. And then we can't just stand like this and catch the ball. We need to know how to do it and have many tools in our toolbox to encounter every ball. And I also, as a last like momentum or a last skill you can use is to also you also stop the ball by using your upper body a little bit, your legs, to just cushion the ball. Sometimes that's really necessary, to use the whole body to take the power out of the shot. It will help your hands, your elbows, your wrists, and everything by having good control over your body as well to cushion a shot. Because there's so many different shots and so many ways a shot can come in. So we as goalkeepers, we just need to have every tool in the toolbox to stop it and catch it, and don't give away stupid rebounds or stupid corner kicks or stuff like that. You see, we are showing here also Luca. So we are set position, we are ready, and bam, bam, bam. Because also, as I'm showing here, hands up, up. So we have the diamond technique, which I really love, as I'm showing here. The diamond, that's what I've been using my whole career. Really, really effective for stopping the ball. And yeah, I feel that I have, my hands around the ball, and it gives me a lot of, security of catching the ball. Trying to meet the ball early so that you can use all the the stuff that I teach you with the wrist, with the elbow, and with your body to stop the ball. Because then we are allowing ourselves to cushion it. So then we take it in and secure it. So ideally, I would like Luca to have his elbows a bit more tucked in. But anyways, he has a good grip on the ball. He's solid for his age, so I think I've done something right with teaching him the basics of goalkeeping. He enjoys it and loves it very much, and he has never had any pain of diving or whatsoever. So I think I've done a decent job of teaching him the basics. How you can see again. Good stuff. Lovely, Luca. Thank you. So, just to sum up, meet the ball, diamond catch. I think there's so many opinions, but I've used that for my whole career. Diamond catch, use your wrists, elbows, and then in the end, if you need a little bit of flexibility and agility, stop the ball also with your body. That's a good way to start your goalkeeper handling journey, as I've been on for many years. And next up, I will just show you how I started with Luca and teaching him how to start practicing handling as a beginner. This was when he was only, I think he was 5. This is how we started. Just by throwing, catching, securing the ball. You can secure the ball if you want. You don't have to secure it, because how often if we catch the ball, we do this. Sometimes if there's people around and we need to secure it, yes, we do it. But there's not black and white in goalkeeping. If there's a shot coming in, you catch it, you're secure, and you want to throw the ball to your winger. You don't want to catch it, do this, and throw, because then you lose time. So sometimes you catch it and just bang, it's into the next action. And sometimes there's lots of people around. You maybe claim the cross, then you secure it, or it's a shot among a lot of people, then you should secure it after, so they just can't push you into losing the ball. But having it as a beginner thing and to just get good habits, I think it's good. So just throwing easy balls to him, letting him have his focus on handling, proper hand placement, fingers, elbows, wrists. Yeah, really important. And be really patient with your goalkeepers. Learn them the basics. Don't rush anything. You will know when they are ready to take the next step. And the next step is volleys. Luca, he has developed so that I can kick volleys and half volleys to him, and he will catch the ball. But we did this basic stuff just by throwing to him for many times before we evolved into volleys. Because you want him to feel that he mastered the stuff. You want him to feel that now I handle this. I feel safe, I feel secure. I can take the next step, a bit harder shots. And yeah, that way they also, they get good habits from a young age. Good habits is the name of the game, especially in goalkeeping. So here, I just volley it to him. Here I also explained that at the best of our ability, if we make a catch, we don't want to make it like this too much to the side. We want to move our feet get our body behind the ball as much as possible, because if we do an error while catching and while handling the ball, sometimes our body can be a safety net and stop the ball that way. Like this. There you can see he used his feet to get behind the ball, which is nice. So there he did it. He didn't have to do it there, but I told him to be mindful of it. And kids, they take it literally. So he's a disciplined, good boy. So he did it. And also make sure that they keep their balance, that they don't fall backward while doing the catching, because we want to have the body weight forward. We don't want to fall into the goal. We want them to stand, have a good set position, and do proper handling. So yeah. Always also like telling him to be ready, have your set position, get good habits, don't get like complacent and lose focus, because we practice how we play, and then always like being ready if there comes a really tough shot in. Important to get that habit building in place. And I also tell them, kids, they can, get ahead of themselves and they want to do everything fast. But I just told him there that take your time, feel the ball for a second or two, that you have it, you have the feeling, you have the sensation, and then throw it back to your coach. Because there's no rush. And also, here I told him just a little detail on his set position. You can see his right foot is pointing too much out. I want it to be the same as the other foot so that he can move freely both sides. This is such a good time, for the kids to, when they get the attention and they feel they master something, they just want to do it more and more. So the most important thing is to give your goalies the attention that they so desperately deserve. And when they're given attention and they feel that they start mastering stuff, they will just fly. They will just fly. And in return, you will have a great goalkeeper for many years to come. So yeah. I also just made a slide and I told you that, so we can just do this briefly. But why we want to move up behind the ball is because if we lose it, we want to be stable. We want to have our body behind the ball, use our feet, and then, to make a safe catch. Because if it goes through our hands, it can hit, our face. The most beautiful thing we have, it can hit our face or it can hit our chest. So we always want to minimize the risk of the ball hitting the net. So try to have as much body behind the ball as possible. So we are still in the goalkeeper basing techniques place. So the basics of diving. There's so many people that ask me how they can do a dive without getting hurt. So really pay attention now, because now I will teach you the basics of performing a proper dive. And it is very important that you learn the basics of performing a dive, so that you do not encounter pain and bad experiences that can slow down your development and create mental barriers. What parts of the body do you want to land on, and how to perform a dive? So many, especially young goalkeepers, never learn how to do a proper dive and the different techniques to do it. This leads them to experience pain and have bad experiences from doing a dive. This way, it can really slow down your development, and it can create, as I say here, mental barriers. Because when you do something for the first time, and you experience a lot of pain, mentally in your mind do not want to do that again. And the most common mistake for beginner goalkeeper is to not stretch out their arms, attack the ball, and they will land on their elbow into the rib cage or into their hip, which will create a sharp and hard pain that can take weeks or months to get over. And this way it will slow down your development because it creates mental barriers, and you don't want to do the dives that you're supposed to do, and you might not develop your weaker side for diving as much as you would have if you had learned the proper diving technique in the first place. So this is really, really important. If you're watching now, pay attention, and let's just go into it. So here we have Luca again doing the principles of performing a proper dive. So we want to set position always. We want our first step to be in front diagonally, not too wide, like not too flat, not too much pointing forward, but something in behind, but in between there, we want the foot to go. You can see it here, how I place his foot, because then we are going actively towards the way we want to dive. It saves us time, and it also allows us to use all the power we have in our ankle, in our calves, in our thighs, thigh muscles, and also in our glutes. So first step, hands, attacking forward, bringing the rest of the body along with it. And then we dive. Here we have Luca on the floor or on the pitch. Ideally, we want you to fall in a forward angle, because this means that we have made the right step. We had a head forward, and we have also attacked the ball with our hands, which cuts off the angle and makes us able to save hard shots and, of course, also easy shots. But by us cutting the angle, it's easier for us to save the ones that go all the way down into the corner. So hands stretched, they are not underneath the rib cage. And we land on our side, on our hips, on our shoulders. As I see here, this we do not want. We don't want this. And here he can land on his shoulders, on his hips, on his traps, and then, save the ball. We are happy with this. Really happy with this. So here I show you where we want to land. So this, you can be mindful of this and think about this next time you go and practice your diving. We want to land on our hip, on our glute, and on our shoulders. then we do not get pain, and we have a more enjoying. We enjoy our training more, and we enjoy goalkeeping much more as well. So next up, I will just show you a few slides on how you can start practicing your dive, and how you also, as a parent or as a coach, can start teaching beginners how to show beginners a guide to diving. So here we have it. Luca, he sits on his bottom, and I just roll the ball to him. I just want him to fall, feel the ground, feel where he's supposed to land, on his shoulders, on his hips, on his glute, from the very basics. It's not standing up, he's sitting, there's no pain, he's just learning the fundamentals of doing a dive. This is how I started with him doing it. Falling on the side, attacking the ball, getting a feel for the ball, getting a feel for the surface, getting to know his body, which is so important. Stretching, always have your eyes on the ball. And doing it this way, it allows him to feel that he mastered the technique. He starts from the ground up, and then in the end, it will not be as scary of doing the full dive, because he's felt it, in different stages. So we start on the bottom, just like this, attacking the ball, like Superman, both sides. Normally, young kids and younger goalkeepers, they have a preferred side, but this way we also avoid that to happen, at least at almost 100%. I'm back. My camera just turned off. I was talking about like when you do this drill, they don't develop, or in most cases they don't develop a side where they have a preferred side. They learn both sides equally. This allows them to not have a really high preferred side to dive on, which allows them to be way more comfortable from a young age, and which really helps their goalkeeping. And as you see Luca here performing the dive on his left side as well, you see he's pretty happy, enjoying it, stretching for the ball there, and because he feels that he mastered the basics, he masters the drill, he masters just the small basics of diving. And when you feel that you master stuff, you just want to do more, and you're happy, you get the dopamine hit, and the serotonin and everything, so that you want to keep doing goalkeeping basically. So stretches well with his arms. Here you also get a little bit of core workout in as well, because you have to get up and down all the time. And great drill. You see, this is the distance that I'm rolling the ball from, and I'm just rolling the ball. And of course, as you develop, you can also do this with harder shots, harder balls, by kicking them after a while. But make sure that your goalkeeper is really secure and have developed properly, because this can also be a good warm-up drill before going into diving exercises, or later on in a goalkeeping session. They are properly warmed up and have gotten used to the surface and everything. So a little hug there as well. We enjoyed this time a lot together. Here as well, basics, but now we have moved up from the bottom to our knees. So we sit on our knees performing the dive. Now it's a bit more of a higher fall down to the surface. slightly higher impact, so they again feel more how it is to land. Same concepts here. Start with your hands, attack the ball, do not land on your elbow, and just complete the dive. Stretch, and yeah, get in the good habits that we really want from a young age. Here as well, you get a little bit of core in. Stretch the ball, strong hands, stretched hands, and land on your hip, traps, and shoulders. So this is really also just mastering the basics and allowing them to do not have pain. It's also really good injury prevention by learning them the good techniques. So be patient with your goalkeeper, be patient with your son or daughter. And also if you are a beginner goalkeeper that has signed up, be patient, don't rush it. Learn the good proper basics first. Here you see he lands on his side, stretched hands, good grip, lands on his shoulders and hip. So amazing. And then, of course, it's ends up in performing a complete low dive. Remember, I teached him all the basics before performing the full dive. I did the other stuff for many sessions and for many weeks. So here he takes a step, dives, step, dive, secure the ball. Here pushes off, stretches, and a good save. Also, I tell him to always be aware of where he stands in the goal so that he also get accustomed to the feel of the goal and, in terms of positioning. Step, good dive, good hands, securing the ball. So here we have taken it all, good stretch. We have taken it all from the basics, sitting on the bottom to the knees, and then now to performing a full dive. You see, you don't need much fancy stuff, cones, hurdles, or whatever there is out there. You need a ball, knowledge, and an eager goalkeeper, and you can do wonders with only that. Here as well, you can develop with harder shots and many ways to do it, but this is really the fundamentals and the basics. As you see, stretched arms, no arm under the rib cage or elbow under the under the rib cage, and landing on our shoulder, on our hips. And yeah, we are also attacking the ball so that our body are slightly pointing outwards, which is also a good indicator that it's a good dive. So doing a couple of more here with a little bit more pace on the ball. And yeah, fun stuff. And also I always try to have it positive, have a good vibe when we are training, not too demanding. I just want to let him feel the ball, feel his body, explore, and start his journey of being an athlete. That's diving and handling. Now we go on to something that's really important in the modern football, which is the basics of distribution. How effective distribution affects your overall performance and how it can contribute to your team tactics. The different types of distribution is goal kicks, passing, half volley, side volley, throwing, and kicking a rolling ball. So So effective, if you're effective with your distribution, you have solid foundations of inside foot, kicking the ball with your wrist. Is it that you call it in English? Like a rocket. You can do it with both feet. You can throw long. You can do the side volley, half volley. And yeah, your way of distribution is solid. It really can affect your performance in a way that you don't need to use so much brain and cognitive function on focusing on how to do the technical part of the distribution. This allows you to use more cognitive resources on scanning the pitch, on where you can put the ball under high pressure moments. Because if we take me as an example, I play for Salzburg and we play in a way where we have to play with some kind of a risk as a goalkeeper. We want to play short passes in our own half and inside of our 16 meters. So if I were to use a lot of resources and a lot of energy on how to do it, you know, the technical part of distribution, how to place my foot, how to kick, and all this sort of stuff, then I would not have any power left to scan the pitch, look, use my eyes, and see where I can put the ball next. So have a good solid foundation, good basics when it comes to how to kick a ball, really, really important. And that way you can help your team do the tactic that your coach want. And for you personally, you can use all your resources or almost all your resources for other stuff than only just thinking about, okay, how do I now receive the ball? How do I kick? Oh, I can't kick with my left. I have to have it on my right. It can cause some stress. So having different types of kicks and kicking with both feet is super powerful. Next slide, I will just show you a couple of different kicks. So this is the first one here is the goal kick. So you see where I put my ankle.
Nice.
There was sound there as well.
Nice.
Basically, I just want one of them to roll. But now suddenly both of them rolled.
Nice.
And you also have the... Oops, sorry for this. You also have, later on, you will also see that I can kick the ball to my fullback with a hard, fast pass, which allows me to have a wide range of distribution. So, but this is the goal kick.
My friend.
And
Nice.
also putting it out to my fullback. Or my goalkeeper coach in this instance. And then to my right here, I'm performing a side volley and also a half volley, which allows me to have great range. And the half volley technique is really, really powerful in wind, in a lot of wind where you have to kick the ball through the wind. So really valuable to have many types of distribution, have a wide variety so that you can use the different tools in your toolbox in terms of kicks when you need it. So really, really powerful. Again, just pinging them as well. Good body position, ankle, good mobility. And I kick through the ball, as you see. I don't stop, but I follow through, eyes on the ball, and it goes where I want it to go. Same here. Arm out to the side for stabilization, engaging my core, my planted foot pointing forward, and I follow through As you can see here, my foot is almost over to the other side, which allow me to use all the power and all the force that I have into the kick to improve power and length in the kick. For the half volley, I give it a little bit of a spin towards me, which I like. I think that's a personal preference. And here as well, pay attention to my planted foot, which is pointing forward. My right leg that is doing a follow through of the kick to again maximize power and length. And eyes on the ball all the time, swinging through, and we get a great kick. Yeah. So I just want to emphasize that having different types of distribution, go to the pitch, explore, watch on YouTube how are the best goalkeepers distributing, and just go out there and practice. Kick against a net, kick to a friend, to a parent, to a coach. Do a few after practice, do a few before practice, or whatever. Just explore both feet and also throwing, side volley, half volley, and all that jazz. So distribution, important part of the modern game, and I will show you on the next slide. This is me in the goal when we played Molde last season. Don't pay attention to the score. We don't want to mention that. But here you can just see how the way I'm able to play the ball and distribute the ball with my feet helps my team to set up in a certain way when we play out from the back. So here I'm calm, and I just chip it over to my defender. Here also I remain calm. I wait until the pass is open, the striker comes towards me, and I use the chipped pass again to play my defender in. Here again, we play a 2 against 1. That's our tactic. So me and my central defender against one attacker, and the other defender is holding the other attacker with him, which allows me to then give the ball to my defender. And imagine if I were to think about how I place my foot, how I kick the ball. Can I use my left? Can I use my right? Imagine I have to use a lot of brain power or cognitive function to just think about that under this pressure. It would not be possible. So learn the basics almost as you can play the ball blindfolded, and then you will for sure evolve your distribution and be a great resource for your team. You know, it looks easy, but when you have the basics, when you have the fundamentals, stuff looks easy. But you know, I've practiced this for a long time, and now it's your turn to go to the pitch. Doesn't matter if it's snow, rain, or whatever. Go to the pitch, practice, and chase your dreams like I did. Again, striker comes. I remain calm because he's doing a bit of a body feint, and I play my central defender wide open. So just a little bit of an example there for you to see how the basics of distribution is really powerful and how it can affect your performance, your own performance, and also the performance and how your team line up tactically with your skills.